See what the hell she's going to say. She's probably going to hate like everybody else, but let's see.
Taylor, it's just an all-around awful situation that we are going to be moving on from now. Now we're going to be talking about the manosphere doc fallout. As I said, Louis Theroux made a documentary about the manosphere where he entered the manosphere, these red pill guys who are talking about, dating lots of women, how to achieve that life, how to make lots of money, how to step out of the matrix. And he ends up interviewing Myron Gaines, who's one of the co-hosts of Fresh and Fit. Now, Myron at the time had a girlfriend named Angie. Louis Theroux brings Angie onto the documentary. Presumably she didn't want to be on this documentary, but she ended up answering a few questions.
She didn't want to be on it at all.
And Louis asks her if he's comfortable with the arrangement that she has with Myron in their relationship. Myron states he wants multiple wives and that Angie is just going to be one of many. She states that he's a very different person off of camera, that a lot of the manosphere red pill acts that he puts on.
What she means by that is I treat her well. That's what she means. I mean, do I have to really explain it out for people? Obviously, I'm not going to treat her like other women on the show, calling them dumb and stuff like that. It's amazing to me how people don't understand, they're not able to read between the lines. What? Let's see what she assumes here, though.
Is set aside for the time that he has with her, and that she doesn't know if she's comfortable having multiple wives or being one of multiple wives in a situation like that. Myron then walks it back and says, maybe I'll change my mind on multiple wives, to which Louis goes, wow, you backed down that easy. It just took a few questions and now you're backing down from your original statement. Now, Angie has since left.
Yeah, that's how I know this woman's stupid, because I already debunked this a million times, but clearly no one does their research. Here's the clip right here that she's referring to. So again, this girl proves to be like other commentators as well, like I told y'all, which I'm not surprised. But here's what was put in the documentary versus what actually was said, because they deceptively edited this on purpose, right? So let's go ahead and play it in full for you guys. And I want you guys to see in full how Netflix deceptively edits videos, because I recorded my own version right here that has no edits. And this is just one part of where they deceptively edited. And I knew this was going to happen, which is why I preemptively recorded all of this stuff. So I want you guys to see it for yourselves. Okay, here's the Netflix edit. The two would be too tough,
You've backtracked on that already?
So he cuts, right, to me looking down, which is a whole other conversation. Watch what he cut out.
People in this backtracked on that already?
No. Yeah, it's so funny.
No, it's just that I think the way I see it is that we had a sort of weird relationship in the past when we started, where he was seeing other girls and kind of taking seriously, kind of not. And I think if that ever comes to reality, it will have to be some special girls that we have to be in some sort of connection. We accept everything, and we are in the same.
Yeah,
plot.
She would need to. We've talked about this. She would need to get it like the other girl. I would.
Oh yeah,
I would make a point that I would make a point that they would get along, because I don't think that would be a headache for me.
No, they say about polygamy that number one is that the two wives are closer than they are to the husband.
Yes, that's.
Oh, look, he's agreeing with what I'm saying. Interesting. I wonder why he cut that out.
So important. That's very, very important.
But even then, I think it's hard.
No, and everything will have to be equal in order to work, I guess. So I don't know. I think we will see in the future if that ever happens. I don't see it happening right now because he works too much. He barely has time for me. So I don't know. I don't see him.
Now, it's also very important for you guys to understand the context. We filmed this in March of last year. As you guys know, I had started this debrief podcast in January of last year. I was going hardest. I was doing the debrief and I was doing my show, recording easily somewhere between 10 to 16 hours a day, easily, right at this point. So she said, hey, I don't know, because I don't get that much time with him, because obviously me spending time with her had dropped off significantly at this point. Okay, and I've owned it. I've told you guys that I wasn't a good boyfriend at this point. I told you guys I didn't give her enough time. I told you guys she wanted a family and I wasn't ready for that. I've owned up to that. Okay? I've 1,000% taken accountability and been extremely transparent about that. No one ever seems to talk about that ever, right? No one streams more or does more work than I do. I put out, 3-4 clips a day, shorts, etc. I'm still doing long streams, etc. So I'm grinding. And at this point, I had just started this show, so I was going even harder. We gained, 400,000 subscribers in a year? So I've been super transparent about this shit. That's why she said that. But obviously, he's removing all this context because I'm going to explain that right here again. Watch.
Opinion, honestly. So we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
But yeah, the thing I wanted to really, the thing also I wanted to like really highlight is that she comes from a 2-parent household, strong
And I mentioned how I'd been, doing my show and I'd been grinding, right? You guys heard that earlier here.
father, masculine male, takes care of the family. So she comes from a very good background, which is why we're compatible. We both have both of our parents together, nuclear families. The man does what he's supposed to do.
Good values in the
Right,
family.
so we have very similar values when it comes to that. She's met my parents on several occasions. They love her. So,
in that scenario where you've got, let's say 2 wives, right?
Yeah.
But would you also have like a rotation outside of that?
oh man, I don't know if I'd be able to do it at that point. I don't know. I'm more like really tired of these girls. So like,
But in theory, that's something you
And I'm tired of these girls because I do the show, or I do 2 different shows, right? I got a girl, like at this point, I'm like, man, I'm not even thinking about girls. I'm trying to grind here.
think, like Elon Musk say, they always say he's the sort of template for how it's supposed to be.
Also, I was doing the college debates too. I'm doing college debates, traveling for that, right? Setting up tables, doing debates outside. I'm doing my streams, and I'm doing Fresh to Fit. I'm literally doing everything, doing it all. There is no other diversified creator to the same level as me. I do debates outside, the Charlie Kirk style. I debate girls on the panel. I do a political cultural commentary show. I release hella clips and shorts. I literally do it all. Okay? So, yeah, I was like, I don't know. I'm still, I'm cooking over here, man. I'm grinding.
Be
Yeah.
for a Superman.
but also I wouldn't want to be in a
Do you
situation.
agree with that though? Is that how you see it? That like ideally you'd have like 10.
And you know what's funny? You guys want to know something interesting? Charlie went out with me when I went ahead and did the debates. I was debating Zionists. Okay? July 19th, he was out there. He didn't use none of that footage. He didn't use any of that footage, bro. Any of it. I recorded hours with him. He removed all that shit.
and they don't and have children with all of them.
I don't know if I'd go that far, and especially with some of these girls like going crazy, like the Ashley St. Clair stuff, where like he's not even claiming that kid, and she's suing him. Like, no, man, that's a nightmare.
That's some people in this part of the culture, right, who advocate.
Look at all that he cut out, chat. He cut out all of that. Cut out all of that. Insane. Insane. This is where he resumes again. And obviously, people like this chick are too stupid to understand that he cut out a significant amount of the content. And here's the thing. This girl's supposed to be like more like, a conservative, doesn't believe the mainstream narrative, etc. She's asked to come on the show, by the way. Like 2 or 3 years ago, she asked to come on the show. I lost my Instagram, though, so I couldn't respond to her, right? Because we're actually having real conversations over here and getting censored for it. I think this girl works for PragerU, if I'm not mistaken. Does this chick work for PragerU? I'm almost certain she does. Check. Somebody confirm for me if she does. But even too, she's too to read between the lines. She actually believes that cut of what is said. Oh, you're backtracking on that already? I just showed y'all the full clip. That was a demonstrably edited clip to push a lie. So it is what it is. And that thing has like, how many views is it? I think it's got like 2 million. Let me look here. Yeah, it's got 2.1 million, dude, on X. Real Diglett says, you know that Louis Queerbankstero is a deceitful nature. He pays his family's bills based off lies. Yeah. No, I mean, it's insane, dude. It's insane. Angie didn't want to be in it, yet they still put her in it, right? All that shit. And, they try to say, oh, well, we don't want a woman to be cut out. Nigga, she told you herself she doesn't want to be in it, and you guys still put her in it. Like, what the? So, yeah, I mean, am I surprised that this girl doesn't have the wherewithal to know that obviously they cut out a bunch of shit? No, and I'm almost certain she works for PragerU. Let me look this up. Which, if you guys are wondering, PragerU is owned by Dennis Prager, a.k.a. a hardcore Zionist. Yeah, she is for PragerU. Yeah, she is. That would make sense. Yeah, right here, dude. Look, it says right here. She's a podcaster influencer for PragerU. Yep, there you go. You already know what this means.
I got my $7,000. I don't give a shit about dead kids. I got my $7,000. I love getting paychecks from Zionists. I don't have any morals. I just love to get money.
I mean, are we even surprised at this point anymore? No wonder. Now it makes sense. She would say something so stupid.
Multiple wives, to which Louis goes, wow, you backed down that easy. It just took like a few questions and now you're backing down from your original statement.
Yeah, you had to edit out like 2 to 3 minutes, obviously, and deceptively edit it. But of course, she didn't look at the real thing. Just gave this commentary.
Now, Angie has since left Myron, and she's now posting that Louis Theroux had something to do with that.
I really think in a weird way I have to thank Louis Theroux because somehow his questions kind of like made me question myself and the future of everything. And that is something that I truly hadn't done before, not like deeply like I did after that. And part of it was his doing. So there is that.
There you go. Myron has since come, like after this documentary dropped, he came after Louis Theroux and said that Louis fell right into his trap and he was going to get Louis back for stuff. And he had filmed all of their interactions and that he was going to do like an equal hit piece on Louis Theroux and get him back for everything that was featured in the documentary because he was disingenuous. And it turns out, doesn't really seem he was that disingenuous. It does really seem like he kind of put a mirror to everything that was happening within the manosphere. And now people.
See, this is why this girl's a. Number one, I already put up the clip that shows that he was lying. Number two, full video comes out tomorrow. Number three, I already told you guys that I wasn't being a good boyfriend. I said this back before. She wanted a family. I wasn't giving her enough time. She deserves a family. She's getting older. So none of this is new at all. None of this is new. I've been transparent about this since last year. And the thing is that she had been single for a long time. And obviously I didn't want to say anything about it because, I didn't want her to get hassled all over the internet. You know what I mean? So none of this is new, dude, at all. Now she's trying to spin as if it's new, but clearly she doesn't watch anything or see anything. She just gives her brain dead commentary. And this is what's crazy, right? If you're going to go ahead and criticize something and give your commentary, do your research. Do your research. I had this shit pinned on my X page for a week. She didn't even do the due diligence to cover that one part about you're backtracking already. She fell for that lie off rip, And then she's making as if it's some big revelation about Louis finding out something. Dude, again, this is me being very transparent here. I had already been not a great boyfriend at that point. I had already been super busy working and shit like that. You guys can hear it during the conversation. And I told y'all this, you know what I mean? I wasn't giving her enough time. So I was on my grind. And that's kind of what happens, guys, whenever you're really focused is shit like this happens, right? But yeah, clearly she didn't do her research at all. It's dude, if you're going to talk shit about somebody, if you're going to go ahead and try to do this, a hit piece or some shit like this right here, do your homework. Okay? Do your homework. She didn't even do her homework. Lazy research or commentary. If you're going to come at me correct. Couldn't even do that. But are we surprised she works for PragerU, So it's it's a chance to go after Myron. He talks shit about my boss and the Zionists all the time.
People are watching that on Netflix. And it's very interesting that she says a few simple questions about wanting to be one of multiple wives ended up just creating deterioration within their relationship. And it does maybe speak to the idea that a lot of these guys who are finding women who are seemingly accepting of these ideas are maybe not sharing those ideas with them that much and not allowing those ideas to really be seen under a microscope within their relationship. And then they're promoting this on the internet to young men and saying that.
Well, here's the thing. If you got your shit together, if you're attractive, girls will accept it. Okay? You guys know I had Angie and some other girls go to Disney World together. But the reason why, right? Because you got to also be fair here. If you're working all the time and you're not giving attention like you used to, obviously the girl's going to feel a little bit scared. Oh shit, do I have this stability? I told you guys that before. Hypergamy is based in the need for security. Okay? So if they feel like you're not that into them or you're not spending enough time, whatever, they start to get scared. This is one of the difficulties of maintaining multiple girls. Okay? It's one of the difficulties. Most guys don't have the sexual market value to do it, and then you got to have the time to do it. So of course the girl's going to feel a certain type of way. Right? And this is why it's so difficult and so few men can do it. And I've been honest with y'all about it. So, of course, this chick, right, is going to have no clue. This is why I tell you guys all the time, female commentary when it comes to this topic, they have no idea what they're talking about. You know what I mean? She would never understand what it's like or what it goes into having multiple women as a man. So it's always interesting to me when women try to give this commentary as if they understand what it's like or how to actually do it. They have no idea how to do it. They have no idea about the male experience when doing it. And quite frankly, I've told you guys this before, women can't even tell y'all how to be attractive to one female, let alone multiple, right? And maintaining a relationship with multiple. They can't do any of that.
This is the situation that they're in. But when confronted with the reality of it, when these women are actually asked, is this what you want, to be one of multiple wives? They don't. Typically, guys, women do not want to be one of multiple wives, even if
yes, of course they typically don't want to do it. Of course not. But the reality is that it's your job as the man to be honest about it and have enough sexual market value to pull it off. That's what it is, okay? That's what it is. Now, the problem is that most guys don't have the balls to tell their girl, this is what we're going to do, and this is what I want to do. And it's funny because they're trying to say, oh, well, you're backtracking on that already. Again, context is extremely important. At the time in March, I was running 2 different shows, doing college campus debates, etc. Women was the last thing on my mind, okay? Right now, it's still the last thing on my mind. So having multiple wives, yes, that is something that I want to do, but obviously not right now. I don't have the time for it. But obviously, they always remove that context. Like I told you guys before, when you're someone like me, people aren't going to be charitable. They're not going to understand context. They're not going to give a shit about why you said what you said. They're going to cut shit out. They're going to make it look a certain way, whatever. Like, they're just trying to get a gotcha. And that's exactly what he was trying to do as well, trying to get a gotcha, right? And obviously this girl fell for it too because she didn't even bother to like look at the full clip and go off the full clip. She went off only what the Netflix documentary said. So what can you do? What can you do, right? I can't fix stupid. You know what I mean? If you're and you know what makes it worse? She knows that I said I was going to expose them. She knows that it's on my ex. Clearly she's on my ex. And she didn't even go and click on it. I got it pinned. So she disingenuousely knew I was going to expose this guy. I put it on my page and she didn't even refer to it, bruh. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?